What's up, everybody? During the Go for Heroes tournament we had another great match, and this time was actually well met going up against Team Tomorrow Big. Tomorrow Big, a team that you should know either when you watch my live streams or if you watch the videos here on YouTube. It's one of the best teams that we have in Europe right now. The guys are still doing a lot of work. They jump from tournament to tournament and they always seem to end up at least in the semifinals, but most of the time they go straight to the finals, and quite often they've won these tournaments as well. They are one of the teams that you really have to know in Europe right now. And well met is of course a more established team, a team with a lot of former StarCraft 2 players like Socke and HasuObs. And we have a match on Khaldor now where the two of them go up against each other in a best-of-1 series during the Go for Heroes tournament. I can tell you one thing, that game was pretty exciting, so if you haven't seen it yet, make sure that you check out the VOD right now. Well met, going up against Team Tomorrow Big at the Go for Heroes tournament.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another match here at the Go for Heroes tournament. We are looking at Well Met versus Team Tomorrow Big. That's going to be the next match here, and as you can see, it is Khaldor once again, the best-of-1 series. To the left side of the map for Well Met, we have Socke on Tyrande, Get Amherd on Zebo, HasuObs on Socke, Hiruke on Brightwing, and Nomi on Stitches. To the right side of the map, it is once again Diablo, the Lord of Terror. Breeze playing him, Wubi on Zeratul, Splendor on Uther, Eternal on Tacita, and Celium is playing Vala. Pretty nice drafts that we had for both of the teams. What surprised me a bit at the beginning was that we had a very late Brightwing picked over a potential Malfurion for this map here in particular. And I guess the explanation will most likely be that this Nazebo that we're seeing in the game will still go for Ravenous Spirit against Diablo, will use his Apocalypse, and then Brightwing should on level 7 take, instead of Gust of Healing, Cleanse, and try and cleanse out Apocalypse to let Nazebo use his ultimate. That's the very likely explanation why Brightwing is being chosen here. He's not really a horrible hero now that we had Rewind moved to level 20, but usually, especially on Khaldor, Malfurion is the preferred choice for most of the teams. There could be another reason for that, but I guess Cleanse is the most likely one, and we're going to see that pretty soon. Right now, we're having both of the teams just like rotating a bit, especially with Well Met having Socke and Nomi on their Stitches Tyrande comp. They're trying, of course, to get a Hook and Lunar Flare or Lunar Blaze talent grab in. We're having once again that Ranger's Mark trade taken. Wubi is in the mid lane at this point. Trilane is up at the top. And the blink in time. Yeah, Socke and Nomi, they have to work a bit more on the coordination between the stun and the hook when they're going up against somebody like Wubi who has reflexes like a panther. But yeah, jokes aside, like, especially what I like the most is when we really see Hill play for Fnatic with Tyrande, and the way that they are playing that hook game together with the stun on Tyrande is absolutely amazing. They usually land those within like the second the hook arrives, the stun is there, and that is very difficult to dodge. In this case, it's actually like very difficult also to really pull that off with the perfect timing, but in this case it didn't really work out. Another attempt, and oh boy, did they show that creep who's boss. Like, that minion had it coming. I saw him insult actually Stitches earlier, saying that he's fat, but yeah, it paid heavily. Nice stun comp against Nomi, but of course with Chew Your Food taken on level 1, he can get himself back to full HP in a second. Oh, that vault in the last moment there. This is really starting to become a very intense game, very intense fights here at the beginning of the match. Looking at the builds that we are seeing, we have Melting Point taken on level 4 for our Tychus player. Tychus is one of the damage dealers that we're seeing for Well Met instead of a potential Reyna on this map. And we are having also at the same time now to the right side Amplified Healing for Diablo after the Soul Fields in level 1. Kind of the standard build that you see these days for Diablo. Diablo mostly played by Team Tomorrow Big, but we saw SK and some other teams also experimenting with him. And this team in particular is very Diablo friendly, I should say. They like him a lot. We're having Regeneration Master taken as well as double Conjurer's Pursuit, one on Tacita, the other one on Uther. And also the tribute now second tribute by the way, first tribute, my bad, spawning at the bottom of the map. Eternal and Get Amherd are still fighting their battle at the bot lane. We're seeing also Amplified Healing taking for, oh, nice move there, taking for Stitches. I like that talent a lot. 7 is going to hit soon enough, and then we're going to see if I was right about Cleanse, or if there's another reason that Brightwing is in the game. His global presence is, of course, something that you should never underestimate, but still, Malfurion has a lot of very, very nice traits to him, and on this map in particular, his entangling roots can be really good. HasuObs is fighting for the tribute together with the rest of the team, but we're having at the top lane still Hiruka getting the experience, and he could use his phase shift to jump into the fight. Celium is soaking up experience now as well. He was missing yesterday in the Zote Cup, where Team Tomorrow Big was able to win their match in the finals against Team Stigma. They played with a sub, they played with Shrimpy, and today they are going up against Well Met here with their full roster. Here comes the first aid on Zeratul, gathering power taken once for each team, and a lot of damage with those storms, especially against Well Met. Oh, Whoopi is moving in, Cleanse on HasuObs is extremely low, oh my god! That last second first aid just barely keeping HasuObs alive. Both of the teams lose a hero. Zeratul a bit too greedy, was going in for the kill. Healing ward already taken. Breeze stunned out there, blocked, and yes, there we go, taking him out as well. And another attempt to take down Splendor. Really nice fight there. And I guess key was really how fast HasuObs on level 7 was trying to skill his first aid and using it. Without that, he would have died to Zeratul, and then it would have been a completely different fight. But as it happens, the battle's still continuing. We have level 7 talents taken, and I actually called that correctly with the cleanse being taken on Brightwing, so that you can cleanse out the Apocalypse and the attempted interrupt against the ult on Nazeebo. Now in this case, Splendor being locked down and Uther dying. Get Amhead under a lot of pressure, but there is a healing ward that they are trying to use to get away out of this situation. 3 kills against 1 so far, and an experienced lead already for Well Met. They are playing this really well, and Team Tomorrow Big is starting to struggle. At least slightly. Up at the top lane, Celium versus Haruka doing their thing. Currently at the bot lane, it's still Eternal pushing Get Amhead back. We have Gitbin on Nazeebo taken as the 7th talent. And after the healing ward on level 4, Tirana decided to go straight into the aura, which makes of course a lot of sense. We're having also Tenderizer taken for Stitches. Hook him in and keep him close. Try to not let them get away. There's battle momentum on Diablo, pretty standard for him. Cleanse of course on Uther, no surprises here, considering how they played the last few weeks. And we're seeing for Vala also battle momentum taken in this case. So very good builds that we have from both of the teams. Especially I like the adjustment with Brightwing. I've been talking about this at the beginning of the game, and I still think that's a really good one. We're having Ravenous Spirit now taken for Nazeebo, and that just makes it very clear what they are trying to do here. Oftentimes when Apocalypse is chosen on Diablo, you go for Gargantuan instead on Nazeebo, but in this case the idea is of course to cleanse Nazeebo and make sure that it doesn't matter for him. Oh, Get Amhead is being completely blocked. The body blocks are way too strong. Oh, and Brightwing nearly jumped to his death. That last second singularity spike nearly dropped him here, and it looks like Whoopi is thinking about moving in behind and taking him. No, they're going for the boss right now. Hiruka actually speeding himself up, and I think he saw that the boss is about to be taken. That could pose a problem though, since Socke and HasuObs are both starting to move in. It's still a 4 versus 3 though, so they could fight that. We're having a Blink heal taken, and Gorge, interestingly enough. I thought that Nomi would go for Putrid Bile, which is by most Stitches players acknowledged as the better talent now, but in this case the comp is relying heavily on Gorge again. They're still trying to fight for that. Are they jumping in? Here comes the Void Prism. You can't steal that this easily anymore. Are they trying to? HasuObs is doing a lot of damage here. Eternal has to move away, and Tassadar eliminated. Apocalypse maybe a bit too late to really make a difference in this case. Get Amhead. Oh, that was already unstoppable. Move back away here. Up at the top, Splendor is also being attacked. I have to say that Team Tomorrow Big is starting to struggle here a bit. Well Met is doing a very nice job. They killed Diablo now at the bot as well. Up here to the top we saw just Splendor and Celium escape. 12 versus 11. That's currently the levels that we're seeing here. And, well, 12 versus 12 I should say now, but that boss is of course doing damage at the bot lane, and well, Matt is capturing another tribute. Not really a cursed tribute yet, but regardless, a bit of an issue. So far, I really like how they are using that, or the tools that they have in this game. And that setup, I personally think that Whoopi made a bit of a mistake with that Void Prism. I'm not 100% certain what he was doing with that. It looked very much like he was trying to steal that out like you could in the old patch, but you can't do that any longer. So in this case, he was using the Void Prism, but he didn't really get anything out of it. At this point, we're having Breeze and Whoopi starting to move in. And normally what you see when they are using the Void Prism and Zeratul together with Diablo, you have them really syncing it up quite well, that you start to trap 1 or 2 heroes and then Diablo uses the Apocalypse and he just releases the Void Prism a second before that, and they start their stun combo with that, using Splendor to provide the second stun and Celium for the Rain of Vengeance that they usually have there. But that didn't happen here. And that weirds me out a bit, because I thought that was the process for them again in this game, but apparently Whoopi had other plans there. So I feel if they use that in just one of the fights, they can still take well met down here. But now, of course, they are behind in experience. They're losing another fort up at the top lane. It's 13 against 14 in levels, and that means that both of the teams relying on the level 13 talent, but another tribute has just been taken, and that's Curse against Tomorrow Big. We're having Relentless for 3 heroes in the game, Tychus, Stitches and Diablo. Wormhole for Tassadar, for Zeratul, and Tassadar with a Prescience talent. We have also Frost Shot taken and Sprint for 3 heroes, with not only 1 sprint on Uther, but also then sprint taken by Nazeebo and by Brightwing. So yeah, that setup that I was talking about earlier, with a good Void Prism, then Apocalypse being used, Void Prism released in the last second, the first stun hitting, Splendor moving in for team stun, and then Celium with the Rain of Vengeance. That's something that they've been showing in a lot of situations, and I really think that is going to be the biggest problem for Wilmette here. If they are caught by that, they might lose 1 or 2 heroes at the beginning of the fight, and that might snowball. Right now, all of the heroic abilities are ready again, so Whoopi could go for that Blink in and Void Prism move. If they get that set up, they can do a lot of damage here, but right now, they are really struggling. They had to deal with both of the bosses, they had to deal with a Curse, they are a level behind. 16, of course, is at some point going to hit for Wilmette, and Wilmette is playing a great game here right now. I mean, so far they've been doing really well. 6 kills against 2. I mean, there's very little that you can say there where they went wrong. They had maybe 1 or 2 risky fights there, but all of them ended in their favor, so proven right, I guess. We're having also the next camp taken towards the left side. They've rotated throughout the entire map, taken mercenary camps, and even stole the ones away that Tomorrow Big had towards their own side. And now Nomi in the mid lane. We're having Vision already granted thanks to the Owl, and 15 into 16, that's not going to take too long. And once you have the 16 talent, I mean, then Tomorrow Big would be locked down quite a lot, because fighting without it? Yeah, I don't really think so. You really want to avoid that, because those talents give you a lot of strength in those fights. And oh god, that's bad. Nomi actually missing the hook since he got cleansed. Splendor was waiting for the hook, cleansed himself and was able to get away. Very nice reaction time by him. I really like that. That was a great move. 15 versus 15 now. Whoopi was going for split experience in the mid lane, but the 16 talent for Wilmette is now going to be on the board in just a second or two. There it is. And what are they going to take? I guess for Tyrande we're going to have the second Lunar Flare talent. Should take it right now. Well, Lunar Blaze is already on the board. We have 1 Stone Skin on Tychus. We're seeing Specialized Toxins, Criterize, Fishing Hook, and yep, there it is. The Shooting Star talent on level 16. So, three lanes where experience is being taken for Tomorrow Big. They need to make sure that Eternal is not going to die down here, and that's why he is using the B button back already. They're giving up the fort in the mid lane. They know that they can't defend that without having that extra talent. They're just trying to get the experience. As long as they get 16, it's fine, and then they really need to win one of those fights. And that combo potential with the crowd control that I've been talking about earlier, that is still their biggest asset. That's a great weapon to have. They just need to make sure that they have the timing down cold. And actually between Zeratul and Diablo, the timing is pretty easy. It's where the rest of the heroes come into play where it starts to become a bit tricky. And in a closed space like this, you can get that set up quite easily. They've been using it a lot. Let's see if they can do it again. Firestorm taken on level 16. We're having Blood for Blood on Vala. And Dimensional Warp. There comes the setup. Oh my god. Worst Void Prism ever. That was bad. Whoopi expecting them to move back. He predicted the position a bit and failed completely because they didn't move into that position. Ouch, that hurt. Nomi getting stunned out. Celium very much alone in the situation. Eternal gets hooked by Nomi. Oh, that hurt. That hurt a lot. They were relying a lot on this combo working, and in this case, it did not work at all. It wasn't even close. A missed stun against Eternal. He's trying to move away here. He might have the cooldown ready in a second to escape, but nope, Tacita is down. They lost 2 more heroes. And yeah, this is bad news. Another boss is going to be taken. Now with all those heroic abilities used, they need to wait for another minute until they have that set up. And yeah, 17 to 16, that's the levels right now. 8 kills against 2. The game is not over, but in order to win this, Tomorrow Big needs to step it up. They are just playing a bit too sloppy here with a few of their comps, and you can't afford to do so against a team like Wilmette that is currently really playing down their rhythm and playing a pretty nice game here. So at this point, they're going straight for it again. We're having Wooby. Wooby will have to make amends for that. I don't think he's happy with that. I mean, it happens. Shit happens, but still, he's not going to be happy about that, and neither is his team, because you know that you should have hit that. 2 heroes that you hit with it, then you can use that combo that we've been talking about earlier, and if you do that properly, you might be able to take both of them down, but in this case, you have to deal with 2 bosses again. They are not too far behind in experience. I mean, it's a level, of course. It's a late game level. It's not like it's nothing. I don't want to like talk that down, but still, it's not like they lost keeps already. But they are, of course, in a very, very defensive position. If they can force one of those fights, their heroic ability is up again. Void Prism is up again. They need to deal with the boss, make sure that they don't lose a hero in the meantime, and then they have a chance to just use that combo again. But time is running out. It is basically a now or never situation. The bot lane needs to be defended. They need to de-push that, and they do it. They need to deal with the boss up at the top. Nomi maybe with another attempted hook, not just yet. But the next fight is really the fight where they need to make some headway. If they don't win the next fight, if they are not able to just like set that comp up once and go into the battle properly, then they are going to have a very, very bad game. And I don't think that if they fail that once more, they will be able to win. They need a victory here, and they need it fast. Once those level 20 talents hit, it's going to be way more difficult, because then Wilmette is maybe not gonna aim for the win just yet, but they're gonna aim for the keeps, and that's gonna give them a lot of momentum. And that's of course something that you try to prevent here. But so far, it's not all over yet. They might wait for the tribute. Third tribute is one that especially Tomorrow Big has to fight for, and there it is up at the top lane. Wooby could go into position and just like hide, try to get that Void Prism in. There he is already. HasuObs, the rest of Wilmette, they are rotating up to the top. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is where you really need to make your move. Splendor is already hit. Wooby is there, not detected just yet. Breeze with the right click, vision taken, Wooby, that Void Prism, it needs to hit hard. They're moving in, Void Prism, this one is better. Is there Apocalypse? They don't use it. Yes, now there is, and they hit 2, and where comes that stun comp? Eternal is nearly dead. They're doing a lot of damage to get him. Header and the rest of the team up at the top. Socke down. Not the perfect comp, but much better than the ones before, and they get their kill. They take down Tyrande. They push the rest of the team back. This is very likely to be their tribute, but they're low in hit points. They need to be careful that they're not being killed out there. Oh, those hooks. Nomi is getting the hook in. Eternal moves away. The Dimensional Warp is helping him. They're trying to go for Hiruki here, but Breeze is about to die. Well, he's Diablo, so he'll be back in a few seconds. Actually, he's not dying at all. He's actually moving away. They didn't lose a hero. They did not lose a hero, but Splendor is in trouble. Everybody is so low right now. Splendor is probably not going to make it here. Nope, he's not. And well, Mets trading 1 for 1 again. 9 kills against 3, and they get the tribute, aren't they? If they do, that would be curse against Team Tomorrow Big, and well, they have to move back as well, because those hard camps are starting to move in. One in the mid lane and the other one up at the top. So, yep. There's that curse, and this curse, how does the boss timer say? 1 minute and 20, and another minute and 2 minutes. So, yeah, they don't have to deal with one of the bosses, but Wilmette could now start to push in those lanes and threaten a keep, especially with another 24 seconds on Uther until he comes back. The attempted hook against Wooby, but he jumps over that wall, and the only thing that Stitches hits with his hook is this one, scratching it a bit. I guess, though, that with it keep being on half HP, I mean, what are you going to do when you're fighting a 5 versus 4 and that curse is hitting you hard? There's even that Siege Giant, the duo, to be concerned about, and yeah, that first keep is gone. First keep is gone, and you can really tell experience-wise they are making a huge headway. They are having such a lead that they should be able to run with this quite easily. up to the top. There is another pressure moment against keep number 2. It's on half HP, and while they defend, Met moves into the middle and tries to at least take down the wall, which they just did. The hook attempt not successful here, and they're moving back for now. They know that the only thing that they need to do right at this point is wait for level 20. Wait for the 20, and then you can move in from there. We're having, yeah. Tomorrow big isn't a problem. I mean, what are you gonna do? You should take your hard cam if you can. There's tributes again, or will be soon on the map. They're going for boss, I suppose. Boss in 3 seconds. And the hook is there. Splendor is immediately stunned, critterized. And yeah, that's bad news. Once again, a 4 versus 5. Diablo moving in. Nice ult there, nice ult this time. They kill Nomi, and here comes that ult, but they don't really sync it up properly with a Void Prison. They still kill Socke. It's a 3 versus 1 in this case, and they might be able to hunt down the rest of the heroes. Sprint activator on Get Am Head. First Singularity Spike hits. Whoopi, does he have Blink? Nope, he does not have Blink anymore. Didn't have the cooldown. They could have killed more. If Whoopi and Breeze would have coordinated that Apocalypse just a tiny bit better, they would have gotten more than only those 3. They could have killed even the last remaining 2. Even with that, it was a win though. The 20 talent now just hitting, and as you can tell, Team Tomorrow Big is not out of it just yet. That's the beauty of Heroes of the Storm, that in the late game, if you win one of those team fights big time, you can do a whole lot of work. Double blink that we have now taken on Bolt of the Storm on Nazeebo and on Taika, so that gives them more mobility. We have a double Storm Shield, and we have Hardened Shield for Stitches. But if you think about the heroic abilities here in general, I would still say that they are very strong for Tomorrow Big 2. They have no Hardened Shield, which might be a bit of an issue, but Diablo is extremely tanky at this point with 7,000 hit points. Just comparing that to Stitches, who has 6,000. That's an additional 1k that you need to drop that target. Not making up maybe perfectly for that Hardened Shield, but it's enough, I'd say. The boss is now taken up at the top lane, and this is still an open game. Yes, there is a keep that has been destroyed at the bot lane, but still, this game is not over yet. If Met plays a bit too aggressive, they could lose this, especially since they're starting to fall behind in experience. That Divine Hurricane, that can take a lot of work. That can actually do a lot of work here. We're having also Twilight Arca now taken, so those 2 heroics will matter a lot in the next few fights. And we're gonna see how that's gonna work out. Personally, I still think that Stitches would profit a lot from taking Putrid Bile in this case, in those fights and the way that they've been running. But I guess if he can eat one of the targets here, especially if he's going to be able to maybe get the stun out of the equation, or like hook a target in, that might be enough. But if you already go into a stun after a hook from Tyrande, and maybe even the Critterize or the Polymorph from Brightwing, Gorge is not always what you need in those cases. So we're having the mid lane being pushed, and all of these bosses that have been taken by Tomorrow Big allows them to put some pressure on the bot lane, allows them to put pressure at the top lane, and that leaves them wide open and creates space for them to drop a few of those forts here. And that's exactly what they do. They have the level 21 talent faster, and yeah, we're seeing another tower being taken out, and now it's all about the tributes again. First tribute has been taken in this era by Team Tomorrow Big. We have both of the bosses down for like an eternity. At this point, they're down for another like 2 to 3 minutes. We're seeing in tributes another one probably gonna spawn soon there on the map. But yeah, at this point, you can really tell that there's nothing to take on the map. It's just about trying and lie in wait for maybe a kill. What Team Tomorrow Big needs to avoid are these hooks. And apparently, a bit of a backdoor attempt, yeah, would be a smart choice. Backdooring the top keep, and that's what they're going to do. And it's going to be too late. No matter what they do right now, they will not save that keep. They might be able to take those heroes down, though. If they move in, they might be able to get them. Whoopi with a good Void Prism. And he gets 3! He gets 3! Is it the setup? Is it what we need here? Eating Uther, great choice. Here comes the first stun. Stunning 1, stunning 2, Uther running in, and the stun is there! Hiruka is being attacked immediately, but blinks away. Get Am Head with a nearly full ult. Wow, against 3, against 4. What a great ult by Nazeebo, but they lose Tyrande first. Splendor is extremely low, though, and also Celium needed to move away. Without that ult on Get Am Head, I feel they would have won that fight easily. That ult did tons of damage. I don't even want to know how much damage he just got in by that one move alone. 50,000 damage dealt by Nazeebo in general. But yeah, that ult, that was a full ult that actually hit this many heroes. That was a crazy, crazy good move by them. But they lost one of their heroes. They lost Tyrande, and maybe that's enough. Can they kill Whoopi? Can they kill Hiruka? They're trying to... Oh, is there going to be a blink kill? It's too late. They lose 2, and now they might lose a keep. 2 keeps are down for Tomorrow Big, but now they are out and trying to take one of the keeps of Wellmet. They're moving in, going straight for it, pushing HasuObs into position, and HasuObs dying as well. Wellmet dominating the early game, but now suddenly in this late game, Team Tomorrow Big is making a lot of headway. They could go for core here. They could attempt to go core. 2 heroes are down for more than 30 seconds, but they're moving back. They're moving back for now. They're not confident enough to really take it here. They want to play that safe. And the bosses, when are they going to be up? A death timer on 45 seconds, and up here it's another minute and a half. They're taking the hard camp here. No hook by Stitches that is actually hitting anything. We're having 10 kills against 9 right now. Well met. They need to be careful that the motto at the end of the game is not going to be well thrown, because right now they might actually end up losing this game if they are not careful. We're going to see that tribute ending up in the hands of Team Tomorrow Big. The bosses are going to be up in just a few seconds. By then, Wellmet will have their heroes back in the game, and that should allow them to contest the bosses. We're having, or at least the first one at the bot lane. They're already having another camp taken here. Diablo is at 7,500 hit points by now, so we're having level 20 on the board. Level 23, he's gonna close into that 8,000. Gonna get a lot closer than that. But yeah, Tomorrow Big is playing a great game here now. Both of the teams are down keeps, but it's still, like in keeps, it's still an advantage for Wellmet, but in experience, it's a very different story. 1.5 levels, that's what they are behind here. And the boss is there. Boss is there. Where's that hook from Nomi? Yeah, we need to have a bit. They have not a lot of vision skills here. The boss apparently given up. Breeze is waiting. He's waiting. He wants them to engage the boss. Now they are just trying to get into a good position, trying to rotate, trying to get into position to win this fight right now. Nomi is there. Breeze is also just waiting to just dash in with Diablo. Both of the teams angling for a good position here. And over there, there's still... What is that guy doing? What a lazy siege giant. Unbelievable. That guy make peace, not war. I don't think that he has any business to be in Heroes of the Storm, to be honest with you. But yeah, whatever he is doing, he is extremely lazy. I guess that's the one that he hooked earlier. He's apparently tending to the pigs here. That's the only thing that I can imagine. And I guess, while that guy is still on the map, are we going to see that camp respawn? Well, there's probably going to be 3 siege giants at some point. Another tribute is happening. That would put the first curse onto Wellmet. Wellmet would be cursed with this. Wellmet would be cursed, and I guess that is what's going to happen here. Tribute is about to be taken, and Wellmet is positioning themselves in the mid lane. They are themselves, yeah, they are going straight into the mid lane, and the rotation to the top. Are they just exchanging? Are they going for an exchange in golems, in bosses? It looks like it, right? They are moving to the top lane, taking this one. And at the bottom lane, we are seeing Tomorrow Big going straight for this one. Okay, it's just going to be a clear exchange of bosses. The top lane, they have to, of course, defend against that, but Wellmet might lose the bot lane because of it. Wellmet might lose a keep. They have to defend against that, and it's not going to be easy. And by the way, that dirty trader is still over there, is trying to hide. Apparently, he really doesn't like action. It's like one of those lazy guys. The TP back. They are ready to defend, and Wellmet is trying to, I guess, win the team fight and end. But that boss is gonna take keep. With another 20 seconds on the curse, the boss is gonna take it. Socke is taken down! Oh my god! They got Socke, and that is trouble. Suddenly it's a 5 versus 4, but the backdoor attempt, Get am hurt! Oh my god, he dies! The apocalypse and everything takes him down. Get is down. The backdoor attempt by Wellmet is already annihilated. This is bad news. 3 heroes down. That boss is not even gonna scratch the core. It's only gonna damage the shields and nothing else. That was a horrible failed attempt, and now they want to end. Tomorrow Big, they want to end. They already took down the keep. The boss is dropping the hit points on that core. I mean, just look at that. It's down to 50%. The boss is going full ham on that. The boss alone might actually finish that. I don't think that HasuObs is able to kill that out fast enough, and the rest of the team is moving in. Wellmet is losing the game against Team Tomorrow Big. 69% on the core against 0. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Wellmet is out, and Tomorrow Big advances in the Go for Heroes tournament.
Wellmet dominating the game for so long, and then suddenly they give Tomorrow Big an opening, And just a couple of questionable decisions by the German team result in Tomorrow Big winning the game in the end. For the longest time, it really looked like they wouldn't stand a chance here. Well Met dominating the game, controlling everything, and then just slowly and steadily Tomorrow Big making an attempt to come back into the match, turning things around, getting their kills, and then with those attempts of backdooring at the end for Well Met, everything just completely backfired. Team Tomorrow Big takes the game. A really exciting match that we had there during the tournament, but it is Tomorrow Big that advances to the next round of the Go for Heroes Cup. And Well Met, unfortunately, after a great start into the match, they are out of the tournament now, losing to Tomorrow Big here. Pretty exciting game. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you enjoyed the commentary as well. If you did, give the video a thumbs up on YouTube, subscribe to Khaldor TV if you want to see more Heroes of the Storm content in the future. I guess I want to see you guys with the next video on the channel for Heroes of the Storm. Have a great day and bye-bye.